deserves to sit down with him for a comprehensive interview about his thoughts on Biden, on Trump, on different political issues, on how he decided to run. He said specifically on wearing the MAGA hat, one of the main reasons I wore the red hat as a protest to the segregation of votes in the black community. Also, other than the fact that I like Trump hotels and the saxophones in the lobby. So there you go. Some deep thoughts on that. One important piece that Quinnipiac left down and didn't sample for, which is the boater community. Sam Stein tweeting, notably did not screen for boaters, though. Something that the president has really been excited about. His support out there on the lakes and waterways of our nation.
I totally forgot about the boat caucus. You can't, the most important swing votes in American politics. And we have a little bit of the video, which was eventually released, that we can put up there on the screen. I mean, you can see this. I mean, there's been all sorts of unusual object.
And now Marco Rubio leading the charge to get some more information about what we know about what exactly is going on
This is what I want my representatives to be working.
David is, of course, a legit journalist who broke a really important story here that helped deepen our understanding of what is happening in New York right now and why. A story, by the way, that cable news claims to care a lot about. Yet sadly and predictably, the only people who covered it were the cynical actors over at Fox who embrace it because it hurts Team D. Over at MSNBC, there's been nothing but silence since this looks bad for a Democrat. And over at CNN, they're too busy asking hard-hitting questions like this.
This was the actual swab that was being used to fit up that double-barrel shotgun that you have mounted on the front of your pretty face.
Important stuff there.
You know, now I see all these MAGA people on Twitter like, oh, well, you know, we had nothing to do with Sidney Powell. Yes, you did. Don't lie. You got an elevator.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they're like, oh, now she's destructive because, you know, she doesn't want people to vote in Georgia. Shut up. You made your bed. Sleep in it. You know, well, I told the story while you're gone, but I walked past over the Thanksgiving break this wall where people were writing things like where they were thankful for. Half the wall was Sidney Powell. There's all these people putting Sidney Powell, Sidney Powell, Sidney Powell. And I was like, this is it right here.
Yikes.
I was like, they don't know what they've done. And now, look at the nonsense they've unleashed. What did he say? He said nobody in the presses were talking about Charlotte. What are you talking about?
I know.
You think you're the only guy to talk about Charlotte?
Like, wow, that's so brave that you're opposed to racism. Listen, Daryl Morey, the general manager, does not speak for the Houston Rockets. Our presence in Tokyo is all about the promotion of the NBA internationally, and we are not a political organization. So, he threw his own employee under the bus, not to mention Hong Kong democracy protesters and support for human rights in service of the almighty dollar. But Fertitta says the NBA will absolutely put the health of our citizens over profit motives, so I'm sure we can absolutely trust him there.
Why does Biden feel a deep affinity for Europe? It's not because he's like, I'm deeply committed to the transatlantic security alliance. It's because Merkel was nice to him whenever he was vice president. That's pretty much it. Here's a quote from Richard Hananian on Twitter. Quote, lol, one New York Times article did more to restrict pornography than every elected conservative politician in the country put together. And, you know, Krystal, this is, you know, generally more off the beaten path. Oh, I just realized I have this here. And, you know, if the trends blacklist and the search blacklist do exist, this could demonstrate, first of all, just how much power Twitter has over your account and what the things they may be able to tweet, but that they can stop things from trending, but even scarier, they can stop things from being searched. So if you search, for example, like my name or your name, it should be the very first thing that pops up, especially Saagar. I think I'm pretty much the only on all of Twitter. So
there are some other weirdos out there who are named Krystal Ball, I will tell you.
Okay, right.
It's very disturbing because of all the reasons that you're saying, and there are so many more questions that that need to be answered. I mean, first of all, these are the accounts, these massive accounts that we know tweeted out this Bitcoin scam, but were there other accounts that were hacked, right? What type of information did they have access to? I mean, did they have access to Barack Obama and Joe Biden's DMs? Did they retrieve that information? Yeah. I would rather have people like that come around, open their eyes during the pandemic, and make a switch. But it's very convenient and very safe right now to do so when there is no actual threat to anyone's corporate interests of Medicare for all.
I think it was Ryan Grimm who said that Bernie had to die so his ideas could live. So maybe that's what it is. Biden advisors have noticed that on polling, the only issue where Trump beats Biden is on the economy because people had a general rock-solid trust of Trump on the economy because of the critique and about how well we did from 2017 to 2018.
Like he's a business guy.
Yeah, it was all of that.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, what do we do? What they've done is basically copy and pasted Trump 2016 and then put it today. Smart. It's a smart move because Trump 2016, where'd that guy go?
His speech yesterday sounded like he'd been watching a little bit of Rise.
Yeah,
I mean, it
did.
did. I am watching because it's making me crazy. Like, we're really trusting these individuals where we're just saying, like, yeah, figure it out yourself. And increasingly, that is the trend. Like, we've just given up, essentially.
Yeah, I know. That is what has happened. It's funny because I remember arguing with these idiots about Sweden at the time.
Yeah.
And even then, so maybe like 2 weeks into it, the Rivix Bank or whatever it's called, their Federal Reserve, came out with a projection that their economy was going to contract just as much as their neighbors. So I was like, so it didn't even work.
Right.
You
killed people, and you did not save your economy.
You knew it 2 weeks in. So it was, and look, I'm not a huge lockdown guy now because honestly, I don't know what to do at this point. At this point, the cases have gotten so bad. I don't believe in any state capacity whatsoever. All the contract trace that I used to talk about.
Please, it's not going to happen.
I just know it's not going to happen. I mean, Congress is just sitting there, like, making sure that people are starving and making sure that they're going to lose their homes, and who God knows if they're going to make sure that they're going to have enough money in order to make up for whatever is lost in the unemployment extension, which I don't think is going to happen. They're not going to send enough stimulus checks. I mean, they're not even here. It's 15 more days, I think, until they even get back to town. I mean, you just go over it in every step in your head. It's not a surprise that this is what's happening.
Right.
But it is disgraceful, which is that this is not how you run public health in America.